Thanks for joining us for Inside NAU. We have a special show today with Northern Arizona University President John Haeger. Student athletes here at NAU have long had an emphasis on academics, and that's been really important to you as president of Northern Arizona University. This year, many of them broke records for cumulative GPAs for their teams. Why is this something that NAU continues to focus on?
Well, I think Northern Arizona University and also the conference, the Intercollegiate Athletic Conference we're part of, the Big Sky, actually sat down very recently to talk about what distinguishes our institutions. And one thing is that when we bring in an intercollegiate athlete, we say to them, it's as important to us that you graduate and do well in your coursework as performance on the field. And actually, we're actually recruiting a different kind of intercollegiate athlete, and it has been very, very exciting.
And Northern Arizona University's athletic department is changing quite a bit. We also have a new athletic director. What might this mean for the university?
I think Northern Arizona University has decided that what we need to do is to be sure that we focus on making intercollegiate athletics the very best that it can be within the Big Sky Conference. And that will mean for us some investments in the future. And so a new vice president for intercollegiate athletics is extremely important to that effort. And I might point out to our viewers, why a vice president? Because that's new. And the idea is athletics becomes part of the entire university, and this person sits with the other vice presidents. So it's a very important, both symbolic and real gesture.
And Lisa Campos is very eager to begin her new role here at Northern Arizona University, and there are several plans that she's hoping to implement. What do you think it's most important to do for that?
Well, I think she started in a whirlwind. So within, I think, a week and a half after she was hired, she hired a new men's basketball coach, and that person has already joined the institution. I think next she'll look at facilities, and we have put a great deal of resources into rebuilding the Sky Dome. And so now we want to rebuild the fan base for intercollegiate athletics. And so she comes to us with a lot of background and experience in advertising and in creating game day excitement. And so I'm really excited about the opening of football season and what happens then.
So these 10 years having you as president of Northern Arizona University have brought a lot of change, many of which we've just seen about in our show. And you've signed a contract extension which will have you with us until June of 2015?
Correct.
And what are some of your plans for the next couple of years?
Well, you know, one of the things we're looking at right now is the university's lost $60 million in state funding. That money's not coming back. And so now we have to adjust our budget and begin to look at areas of the university which supplement the lost state funding. So what are some examples of that? Athletics. If we're successful in rebuilding NAU athletics, that will mean resources. International students. If we're successful in recruiting 1,000 new international students, the resource base increases. If we're successful in transforming the campus with the use of technology, which allows us to use faculty time differently, it helps the bottom line. And if we're successful in recruiting 5,000 students into a personalized learning division, we've fixed the $60 million hole.
It does seem like institutions of higher learning really are changing, and this type of thinking outside the box is part of the plan to keep campuses afloat? Or?
Absolutely. I think what we've learned is we really can be a transformed institution, and we're well along that path.
I've sure appreciated your time. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
This Inside NAU special has featured President John Haeger's 10 years here at Northern Arizona University, and also Inside NAU's 100th episode. We'll leave you now with some thoughts from people who've worked closely with Dr. John Haeger during his 10 years here at NAU.
Well, if you could see the bottom half of me, I would be doing a very big happy dance about him staying, for sure, because it's been a sincere joy and pleasure to work with him as a colleague and as a friend.
He certainly has played an important part in growing Northern Arizona University into one of the great universities that we have in the country. I think in this state we have 3 great universities, and he is one of the reasons for that.
I've worked with all 3 presidents, have great respect for them, but of course being an NAU grad and being in the community here, I really appreciate all of his skills and his true concern about getting services out to the community. I can't say enough about John Haeger.
He has the right level of being understated, yet the right level of hard work, quiet hard work, to position NAU to receive the benefits that we have.
I believe that that we will look back 50 years from now on President Haeger's tenure at Northern Arizona University as the golden age of this university. I think he has transformed us, and I think he has been one of the greatest leaders this university's ever had.